The leaks for chapter 334 just left me in awe as we see the corner kick from Blue Lock, and we even see Blue Lock going for the goal, which is just insane. However, whether they score or not will be a mystery for now, but with that said, let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Alright, so the chapter starts off with the text saying, Japan is down by 1 goal. Even with the enemy's declaration looming, they press toward the French goal to carve out their status as number 1. After that, we spot Bachira right by the corner as we spot him getting into his ready form. However, under him we have Hugo, who looks dead at Isagi and tells him that if you continue to aim for the world's number 1 striker, then Blue Lock will get annihilated here. This obviously makes Isagi super furious as he looks manically towards him before Bachira starts to run and is just getting ready to kick away the ball. Just then, we see Isagi, who has gone into meta-vision mode, and in his mind, he tells Hugo to be silent and telling him to just try and read this. We then go over to Bachira, who also looks super scary and manic out of nowhere, and he just Isagi tells Blue Lock this time to just try and read this. After that we see that Bachira didn't do a cross after all, and Charles is right on it, as he is firstly surprised, but says that it's in lateral pass. We then see Renoir, who I'm decently sure was the same goalkeeper for PXG in the Neo-Egoist League, but he screams out to his team that it's not a cross, and instead that it's a short corner. With that we get back to the ball, and we spot that the ball went to the sadist Hiyori, who gets it without any issue at all. We see him looking more ready than ever as he tells them to go for a set play. We see both Rin and Isagi starting to make their moves, and starting to run closer to the goal. Meanwhile, we go back to Renoir, who is by the goal obviously, but he screams out that both Bachira and Hiyori are plotting something, and telling them that whatever they do, they can't let go of their marks. However, just then, we move over to an incoming bullet train coming towards Hiyori. Alright, it's not a bullet train, but it's just as fast as one as Loki is running at him in full speed, and he looks ready to devour Hiyori if he just got a little closer. But while Loki is sprinting for everything that he possibly has towards Hiyori himself starts to get into a passing position, but Loki manages to get to him in time and goes for the ball, only to be honestly pretty embarrassed by the goat. Hiyori sweeps the ball to the right, and tells him that he was too late with fire in his eyes. After that, we see him passing the ball over to Bachira, who came running just on his side. Bachira gets it easily, as he sprints past Loki and tells him that he has got him. We then see Renoir again, which is kind of crazy as it feels like he has had more screen time than most of the Blue Lockers at this point. But anyway, he tells the team that it is Bachira who has got his hands on the ball again, and that he is on the right edge of the line. We see Bachira getting super close to Renoir, who explains that Bachira is going to go for a near post shot. However, after that, he looks determined as he tells Bachira right to him that he won't let him pass. Bachira, however, who is still going at full speed without a single worry, just starts to smile before thinking that this is right where he wants it to be. As just then, he does an awesome heel pass almost to his right side, shocking everyone since everyone was set on him trying to score. Renoir instead looks towards the ball in amazement as he says that Bachira did a back pass. After that, we see that the ball that was sent by the god Bachira, it went straight to Ryo's 2 feet, who looks super fired up as he tells Bachira good job. But suddenly out of nowhere, Ryo is able to feel a big and grubby hand going across his chest, and he looks over and he sees his worst nightmare. It's none other than Hugo, who looks with super dead eyes right into Ryo's soul as he tells him that he won't ever let him score and calls him a copy-kun. Ryo at first genuinely looks crushed and destroyed, but after keeping that act up for a while, he later drops it and starts to get a smirk as he just laughs and asks what he means with shooting. After that, we see Ryo faking a shot and instead letting the ball roll right past him. Hey, it's Natsu mid-editing here, and I just wanted to pause the video to ask you to subscribe if you haven't already, and while you're already down there, why not leave a like as well? Behind him, it's the poster boy of Blue Lock Isagi, whose puzzle pieces are going ham around him as they are just flowing and flowing. He comes running to the ball and asks Ryo if this was his design. After that, we see Renoir getting ready as he wonders if the final shot will be right here. We then get a close-up of Isagi's face, where we spot his metavision eyes being out as previously mentioned, and after that, he starts to speak loudly as he asks if Hugo wasn't going to crush him with logic. He calls Hugo the true number 2 and says that he has stolen it. But while Isagi might have taken out the victory a bit too fast, as after that, we spot Charles, who slams into Isagi's body. He looks at Isagi right at him and starts to grin as he tells him that it's not yet since the contrarian's there. Isagi looks back at him, and we can hear and see how annoyed he is as he even lets out a small sigh. After that, we move over to Charles, who it actually kinda looks like he is overpowering Isagi, which is just wild. But anyway, he explains that when Blue Lock comes at them with a pattern that they don't know, he stays on high alert for Isagi, who is in the most annoying position, explaining to Isagi that this is his job. We then see an extremely annoyed Isagi who thinks and swears in his head. He wonders why Charles is here, and if this is all just a dream, hopefully, thinking that his first time set play was crushed. Just then, however, his knight in shining armor, Rin, comes screaming his name, and he screams at Isagi to pass to him, looking super fierce at Isagi and almost demanding him to pass. But just as Isagi thinks about it, he thinks back to Hugo and how he told Isagi that if you live your destiny as a number 2, then Blue Lock can still become stronger, and this was his perfect chance to do just what Hugo told him to. However, instead, we see that he starts to get super mad as his pieces start going absolutely wild, as he is still in his little head telling Hugo to just be silent because, as for him, he's going to live as the number 1, and with that said, he fires off the ball towards the goal. Rin sees this and is understandably pretty mad as he calls Isagi a bastard, and he looks furious at him. Meanwhile, we see Karasu back, and he looks at the ball with high anticipation, and we also have Bachira, who also looks at it and tells it to just go. But then, the most mind-blowing and out-of-this-world thing happens as Renoir, the France goalkeeper, says that there is no other choice, and that he already saw that course, and I can't believe it as he dives and actually saves the ball. Isagi just looks at him, completely blown away, as he can't believe what just happened. The commentators are just as amazed as they scream that he saved it, and we can see that the Japanese fans are furious over this. After that, we have Hugo right by the broken Isagi, and he tells him that if he loses the 2-gun volley and his right foot direct volley, then he is just an average striker, telling Isagi that at this rate, Blue Lock will die because of him, and that it's time to awaken. He continues and straight up tells Isagi that he still has time to change. After that, Hugo starts to be the one who aura farms, as his aura starts going wild around him, as he almost waves goodbye to Isagi, while telling him to know his place and accept his destiny. We then get a close-up panel of Isagi's eyes, and we can see how much that got to him. We then move to his best friend Bachira, who can't believe his eyes at what just happened, and Hiyori joins in as he says that this is bad, and he starts to wonder what they are supposed to do about this. We also get a super small panel of Rin looking at Isagi as he looks super annoyed. Meanwhile, I'm guessing that we end up with Bachira, Hiyori, and Rin all in sync, saying that Isagi can no longer be used, and that sentence is just wild and something I'm struggling to believe. However, luckily, that's not where we end up, as in the last panel we see Karasu, who looks absolutely fired up as he says aptitude and destiny. Then, in the last panel, we see his eyes looking really menacing and creepy as he says the world's number 2, not knowing if he might be referring to himself and if he will take up that role and become the number 2 so that Isagi can become number 1 again, or if he is straight up talking about Isagi. Anyway, the ending text says, in this hopeless, unprecedented situation, shockwaves spread across Japan. Expect for this man. And as you guys heard from that ending text, we can safely assume that Karasu is really starting to cook something. Anyway, there is no break next week, which is fantastic, because I am so insanely hyped, and on top of that, the next chapter will be called Transformation, which I'm guessing that they will come up with a new formation, either one which utilize Isagi in a better way, or one which will shut him out, and making him being forced to regain his place, which would be sick. However, I have to admit that I'm pretty beat today, so I won't talk about this any further, but please let me know what you guys thought about this pretty insane chapter, and leaks in the comments. Anyway, if you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.